Hey Capricorns, how are you guys doing? I hope you had an amazing June now that Jupiter finally went direct. So if you haven't already reached out to me, please comment below or send me an email and I will let you know exactly where your good luck is, okay? So I just need your birthday, time, and location, and then I can let you know exactly in your astrology natal chart where Jupiter went direct. And Jupiter is a planet of fortune, expansion, optimism, and good luck, okay? Really quickly, Neptune went retrograde not too long ago. I think it was on the 16th of June. So Neptune is the planet of illusion and deception, things like that. So anything, Neptune kind of creates that haze. It kind of puts like a cloud over things. Neptune is ruled by Pisces, so if you know any Pisces, you can kind of understand what I mean when I say that haze, because a Pisces, you can't ever really see them clearly, right? So Neptune going retrograde, like I said, if you give me your birth details, I can let you know where that haze is being created in your life right now, and it's actually being internalized because it's retrograde. So for instance, if Neptune is retrograding over your second house, you're not really going to be able to see your finances and self-worth in an outward way. It's going to be more internalized. You're really going to start to think about your sense of empowerment when it comes to your introspection and who you are on the inside. It's not so much an outward influence. Saturn and Pluto are both still retrograde, which is always fun. And Chiron went retrograde too. It's been a crazy time. Okay, that being said, all I can do when it comes to astrology is work with what you can provide. So like I said, put your birth details. If you're more private and you want to email me directly, that's no problem. It takes me 2 seconds and I love to do it. So please. That being said, I really just want to overemphasize the numerology I talked about last video. So I'm going to explain it again, and I have my crystals to help me because I don't think I explained it very well last video. So I'm hoping that this video I can actually explain it properly. Okay, so you take your birth month, which for Capricorns would be either December or January or whatever your birth month is, and unless you were born in November, reduce that number down to a single digit by adding the 2 digits together. So if it's December, you're adding 1 plus 2. If it's January, you're just bringing down that 1. So you have a single digit now. Take your birthday and reduce that down to a single digit. So if you're born on the 23rd, you're adding 2 plus 3. So now you have 2 single digits. Keep going down until you get single digits. Keep adding the numbers together until you get single digits. Then you add those 2 numbers together. So if it was January 23rd, it'd be 2 plus 3 plus 1. Or January is 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6. So keep reducing until you get a single digit, unless you have an 11 or a 22 or a 33 or a 44. If you find you have any of those numbers, don't reduce those down to a single digit. Keep them whole. So after you have your final number, add a 1 to it, okay? That's for 2017. So now you have a single digit. You have your number. When you add the 1 to it, keep reducing. You just want a single digit. And please, if you need help, comment below or send me an email because it can get confusing, but I think I've figured it out pretty well by now. Please let me help. Okay, roll call. This is what those numbers mean, and this is pretty much how you've been having your whole year, and now September is going to be the peak of that, okay? So for 1, if you got a 1, new beginnings. September is going to be the peak of new beginnings, so brace yourself. If you got an 11 or a 2, you're going to see potential soulmates. You're really going to be focused on your relationships and your partnerships. And like I said, if you met somebody special this year, they're probably your soulmate. So congrats. If you got a 3, this has been an incredibly optimistic year for you. And September will be the peak of your creativity. So if you've been thinking about putting out a creative project, September is the month to launch it. That's when you're going to have the most luck, okay? If you got a 4, my heart breaks for you. I know how you're feeling. I'm in the same year as you. And it's been like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's an obstacle year. And September will be the peak of those obstacles, but it's all about foundation building. It's all strengthening you slash us for what you've created last year. It's just building off of what you created last year. If you got a 5, brace yourself for a change in September. There's probably been changes all year for you, a lot of chaotic energy. September will be the peak of that. If you got a 6, focus on family, friends, relationships at home. If you got a 7, you're going to be doing a lot of inner study, a lot of alone time. You're probably not going to leave the house in September. You're going to want to do a lot of isolation, a lot of soul searching, and a lot of hidden, deeper truths. Maybe you go back to school. Whatever you're doing, it's studying essentially, whether that's yourself or whatever. If you got an 8, congratulations. You're in a power year, and in September, your power will be peaked either in financial gains or financial losses, depending on the path that you've been walking so far. So you've been warned, okay? So if it's now July, if your finances haven't been going too well this year, be prepared. September is going to be the peak of that, okay? So you want to try and figure your stuff out now so that come September, you're in a proper situation for the good kind of gains. If you got a 9, another bracing reality check is that something is coming to an end. It's the end of a cycle. And that cycle started 8 years ago, and September will be the peak of that, okay? The good thing about having endings in 2017 is that any endings that are coming that you probably noticed this year, you're getting new beginnings like that. Like any endings that have been happening has just created space for a new beginning. So it's actually been pretty, you got lucky with that one. Okay, so that's numerology. Like I said, please comment below and I can do the math for you. I don't mind doing it. It takes 2 seconds and I love getting people's birth details. So I'm weird like that. Okay, I'm going to get started on our reading for Capricorns for July 2017. Okay, this already feels really good. Capricorn, July 2017. Okay, thank you. Okay, so really been a huge focus on your finances this month. Sorry. There was a change that came in, and it made you rethink what you've created. It made you really rethink what you're establishing here. And that confusion was heightened by a younger fire sign. Okay, when I say younger, I mean younger than you. Somebody who's incredibly optimistic, happy-go-lucky, incredibly lucky. So lucky so that this person has no problem with going backward in life because they still end up creating something. They still end up building from that. Even though they're past focused as opposed to forward focused, they still do create a lot in their lives and they still have a lot of optimism, energy, and good luck. So because of that change that came in that could have been incredibly heartbreaking, it made you rethink a lot of stuff. Like, what did you get yourself involved in? You're like, what did I tangle myself up with? Is this going to help this young fire sign? You definitely feel more empowered because of it, and you felt like you had enough support behind you, enough balance behind you in order to survive this change. But maybe you're just really worried about this younger fire sign, younger than you, I should say. When I say fire sign, could be their moon fire sign or their rising fire sign. So somebody who definitely is forward thinking but past focused. See what I'm saying? So somebody who has a progressive mind and they're very energetic and optimistic about their future, but they're really stuck in the past. They really love to go back on things that, you know, we're supposed to be left back here, right? And Capricorns, and I say we because, as you know, I'm Capricorn rising. Capricorns, we are all about the forward progression. Yeah, we move slow and steady, but we are all about, yeah, that was in the past because I'm now here. I needed that to get here. So to have this fire sign, I want to say Leo for some reason, to have this fire sign constantly so quick to jump back to the past, it's frustrating because you've made changes, because that change, although broke some hearts, it still really made you question your empowerment. You know that you're confused, and you know that you're trying to get to a spot of completion, especially financial completion. You want to just focus on your strengths and on your future, but this Leo, this fire sign, keeps pulling you back. So that's the theme here, okay? Let's see what's going on. So you are moving away from something. You are moving away from harder times, but there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of arguing going on. A lot of arguing. Okay. Yeah, you're moving on from harder times. So that change was a positive thing. Of course, change is always positive. It's just how you want to look at it. If you're going to have a gray outlook, of course that change is going to suck. But if you pull yourself back a little bit and put that change in a vacuum and be like, from an outsider's perspective, that change actually has just even a little bit of a silver lining, okay? So try to find that silver lining, because you are moving on from something, and that move that you're establishing and moving on from actually has created some sort of comfort and stability for family and friends, especially the females in your life, because they saw your struggle and that pained them. That hurt them, okay? The obstacle and the aid is realizing how much you've built. Like I said, really seeing how far you've come, how much you've empowered yourself. That is helping you move on from harder times. But because of how much you've built for yourself, it's actually hindering you from moving on as well. It's an obstacle and an aid, okay? Family and friends see that, like I said, and they definitely are positive about your creativity and what you've built, and they know that you have a plan and they know that you have a path. But because of that path, it's hurting your ability to actually say that's in the past, because this fire sign keeps pulling you back, right? Subconsciously, there's quite a few people here. This spread has quite a few people, if you can see that. And it's all family and friends, right? This is a young earth sign who, although the younger fire sign is forward thinking and always going to the past, this earth sign is perfectly fine just being right here. Like, they're like, let's just chill right here. We're comfortable here. Stop moving on. Even though you've built so much, stop moving on. Yeah, this is a hard present, but this is our present, you know? And this earth sign is really having a hard time moving forward and actually taking any steps forward. And that's just what earth signs do. Like, they're more down to earth, they're more grounded. You need this, right? You need this grounding energy. You're an earth sign as well. You understand that we need to be grounded in order to progress. So this person in your subconscious mind, they just want a little bit of acknowledgement, a little bit of attention to be like, okay, you know what's going on when it comes to financial freedom. You know what's going on when it comes to empowerment. I am listening to you, but I still need to walk my own path. And for me, this present is too hard, and I want to move on because I've built so much to move on, and I'm ready to progress. Thinking that you are still very young-minded, and I guess the word would be immature when it comes to your financial freedom, especially with this new endeavor, with this new change. But this youngness is exactly what is needed in order to get some new money come in. Like, look at this. This is a future card. Something new starting that is just going to completely... Capricorns, you guys have been killing it. Like, if you're feeling insecure, you guys have been absolutely killing it. Everything that has been going on right now, especially when it comes to your finances, is for the greatest good. It may feel like a slow and steady race, but that's what you do. You move slow. You slowly progress. You're a Cinderella story, from rags to riches. Although it happened overnight for Cinderella, actually it didn't even happen overnight, okay? He had to go out and find her and look for her, right? And she thought that even after an amazing night at the stroke of midnight, she thought it was all done and gone. That's kind of where you guys are at right now. But it is coming. Your knight in shining armor, your proverbial knight in shining armor, who's going to come and save the day, whatever that may be, whether that's a financial freedom, whether that's emotional, spiritual, it is coming. It's just, it's too soon. It's too early, okay? The only way to get there, though, is to keep walking that path. Keep moving forward. Look at this. This guy is walking away with power. He's not even looking back. He's like, bye. Okay, keep going, keep going. Forget the Leo, forget the earth sign who just wants to chill here and figure out what we're doing here. No, you are going forward. Yeah, you may be immature when it comes to this path. You might not be as experienced when it comes to this path. You recognize that, but you actually have gained a lot of power when it comes to the home and family. And that's where true power is manifested from. It needs to start from within yourself, slowly radiating out to your close inner circle, and then that's when it goes out into the world, into the universe, and you get it back threefold, okay? But yeah, there's too much fighting. You don't need confidence. It's a silent confidence. You want to be the quietest person in the room. You don't need to explain to anyone your path and your empowerment. You just do it. And then actions speak louder than words, because there's way too much fighting. Way too much fighting over, you know, not enough grounding energy, not enough, especially with this earth sign and the Leo sign, the fiery younger sign. Way too much arguments, way too much scattered noises, way too many fingers in the pot, way too many influences. It's all on you. Like, you are your highest authority. You are the one at the end of the day that has to be comfortable with the decisions that you're making, with the path that you're walking. Because you don't want to wake up one day and say, and resent, you know, the earth sign or the more grounded person in your life and say, yeah, I didn't keep going because you told me not to, because you told me it was too hard, because you told me that you were comfortable with where we were, and now I resent you for it. You might as well go, and even if you fail, this earth sign's gonna still love you, right? They're probably gonna love you even more because you finally showed them a weakness, right? I know Capricorns who are just so strong, right? So strong. So no matter what, it's going to be a benefit. Keep going. Your family and friends, they're just putting themselves at a higher pedestal than you. They're just saying that they know better. Why? Why are you giving them that power? Okay? Your hope and your fear is to create something, is to really put your creativity out there, is to finally take that leap of faith, take that next step and say, I made this. You want to, but you fear it. Let go of the fear, Capricorn. Let go, okay? You're moving on, and it's looking like this is this is a future card. Look at that. Yes. That's all I have for you guys. Keep going. You got this, okay? Message me, comment below, whatever you need to do to get my attention, because I want to know what's going on, because Capricorns, this is now like the third video in a row where I'm like, you guys are killing it. I want to know what's going on. What's your progress? What's your struggles? Please reach out, because we're all Capricorn influence here pretty much. So let's talk. Bye, Capricorns. Have an amazing July, and I'll see you in August.